fashion, and then my models are all sizes, heights, ages, and ethnic backgrounds. So it's a really beautiful event of beauty in all shapes and sizes, and everybody walks away trained. But yes, there are different risk levels. Someone having thoughts, they still need help, they still need a support system. Someone that has an actual plan set in motion, that is urgent, and we need to get help right away.
So Sherrie, let me ask you this. What if someone says to you, well, I don't want to ask them if they have a plan because I can give them a plan. What do you do for that person that thinks that I'm not going to say something because if I say, do you have a plan, I might push them to that point?
That's actually one of the myths of suicide prevention is people, again, they're very scared to give them ideas. If they have the idea is in their mind.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so we have to get that out of them. Do you have a plan, and what is that plan? Because we need to take action. If we never know, if we never ask them, we're not going to know when the plan is. Every suicide intervention that I do, I have to find out the plan.
Right.
I would think if you ask them if you had a plan, that would give them a little bit of reassurance, knowing that somebody possibly have felt the same way. How would they know to ask that
Yeah.
question?
Yes.
Like, how would you know to ask me about my plan?
That's a really great point.
That would make them listen more, in my opinion.
That's exactly what they do. They say, well, how did you know?
Right.
And they feel like, oh, well, okay, I do have a plan.
Yeah, and a lot of times with that, if you know the person's plan, then you can, circumvent that plan with
Absolutely.
information. But when you're talking to someone and you don't know what they're going to do, it's just talk. Because you can say a lot of words to someone that means absolutely nothing. But if you know what they're planning, then you can say a few words that can be profound and change their lives.
And you can take away the guns, you can take away the medicines in the medicine cabinet, you can take away anything that they are planning to use to do that. So that's a really good point as well, because sometimes someone will say, I was thinking of overdosing on my mom's medication. Okay, act now. I mean, I still tell parents when they come to me to take out all possibilities of any way that could, potentially lead to suicide so that it doesn't happen. But if we know specifically what it is, we know what to watch out for.
And baby, just before you go on, let me talk to some of the teens out there. When you hear someone saying that I was going to take some of my mother's medicine and you say, oh, Timmy was just playing. No.
They're not.
Act on it. Don't wait to sit there. If he's playing and wasn't doing anything, it's better to be safe than sorry. But don't sit there and say, well, I didn't think they was going to do something. When you hear someone say that, your first response should be act and to make that telephone call.
Don't let there be an empty chair in attendance the next day.
Yeah.
Exactly, and what we like to say is, a lot of times people will go, oh, they're just doing it for attention. They're doing it for attention because they need attention.
Yeah.
They are needing something inside right now. They need help. Please take it seriously.
Yes, amen. Go ahead, baby.
How does core character development help with preventing suicide?
Yes, thank you for asking that. Core Character Development was founded back in 2010 when I started Live Out Loud Charity. It's been approved by principals, counselors, social workers, students. They love it. And how we package it to students is, it's your 9 steps to making your dreams come true. And so we start with step number 1, which is values. Know your values. If you know what you believe in, no one can break you. No one can shake you, and no one can make you do anything you don't want to do. So my number 1 value is God. As I mentioned earlier, I was able to overcome everything that I've been through God. And, second value, third value. But we don't tell students what to believe. We let them know they have their own voice, and they need to find and figure out what it is that they believe in, not what people tell you to believe in. And so that gets them thinking. I'll jump into step number 3, legacy. You have one life to live. How do you want to be remembered? When you leave this world, what do you want people to say about you? More importantly, when you walk out of this room, what do you want people to say? That's the person that made me cry, or that's the person that lifted me up. And then we go into, you know what? We've all said things we shouldn't have said. We've all done things we shouldn't have done. But that our past is just our past. Our future is still unwritten. We can still become the person we want to become. So that starts getting them thinking about that. Then we move into, I'll jump forward to step number 5, education. And I love this one because I get to laugh at them. Oh, education, whether they're little kids or they're teenagers.
Yeah.
But I show them the photos of when I went to Philippines. Thousands of children, men and women sleeping on the bare ground, too poor to go to school, do not have a home. They will never learn how to write their name. They will never sit a day in a classroom, and they will never have the opportunity to make their dreams come true. So tell me, how blessed are you to have an education?
Amen.
Because
Amen.
if you are poor, you can go to school here. It may not be easy, it may be hard, right? But you can be anything you want to be. And then that leads them to go, well, that's not fair for them. What can I do? And that leads to step 6, find a cause you believe in. If you find a cause you believe in, you can make this world a better place. You think it's unfair they can't go to school? What are you gonna do to change it? And they're like, I can do something? Yes, you can do something. So we've got 7-year-olds in our program, 12-year-olds in our program, that Sophia Tapia and Eliana Roy, they're ambassadors of Live Out Loud Charity, and they started Humanitarians for Hope. So they've collected thousands of items this past month alone that they're gonna be distributing to the homeless.
Amen.
So it's about giving them a voice, it's about giving them hope and letting them know that they can change the world and make it a better place. And then one of our last steps is affirmation, positive thinking. We go through exercises with them. So how does core character development help? It gives them the life skills to face this world. And it lets them know that they have a voice. And at the end, if we are allowed, because we're not always allowed to share the steps of suicide prevention, then we share the suicide prevention as well. And if we are allowed, we share the resources.
Where is the organization located?
Chicago.
Where in Chicago?
It is Chicago throughout schools. It's everywhere. I mean,
Okay.
we're a traveling organization.
Okay, that's what
Yes,
I wanted to
we
get
are
at.
traveling. I mean, I travel all the time. I've been in 5 states and 2 countries this past month.
And let me tell you something, how
This
blessed.
past month,
This
Yeah.
past month.
5
This-
states and
She
2
said
countries.
states,
right.
Yes, I did.
I just want people to hear
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
5 states and 2 countries
Right.
this past month.
Yes, and I'm
Not
going
year.
to
It's
Ireland.
It's only 4 weeks in a month.
There is, and I'm going to Ireland next month, and then I'm going to Liberia the following month, and we're spreading Live Out Loud Charity and our organization there as well.
Tracy and I wanna go.
Yeah.
Get your money together.
I
Let's
know,
go.
we have to raise a
donate
lot of
to
money.
the
Raise
Brenda Faye- if I say
7,000.
that, Brenda Faye McCain, what
Go
Raise
to the-
$9,000.
But you know,
I know.
one of the things I want to say is like how blessed we are with all the traveling you
She's
came to
here.
Stockholm to that show. And
Thank you.
Sherrie, I thank you so much. We're not through with this yet, but I am so honored and blessed to just hear you talking about that. So my baby got something she wants to share. We usually have some people will write in to our show when they know about the topic, and so she has a relationship letter that she wants to share.
Yes, and this letter says, Dear LST, this is truly a letter about a friend of mine. I noticed as late she has been very distant and depressed. From the outside looking in, she seems very happy, a good marriage. Her daughter has gone away to school. She's in her 2nd year of college. Her husband received another promotion at work, and she is one of the top counselors at a major hospital here in my city. But as I mentioned before, she seems very depressed. During our last conversation, she said she didn't feel needed anymore, and she often wonders what the world would be like if she wasn't in it. I'm very concerned that she might be contemplating suicide. Should I take action and intervene what I heard, or am I making something out of nothing? Sincerely, ready to make a move.
She definitely showed the warning signs. She's talked about not wanting to be here or what the world would be like without her. You absolutely need to make a move. We need to act now. We need to talk to her and ask her, are you suicidal? What's going on? And get her to open up. And does she have a plan? If she does, it's urgent. If it's just thoughts, we still need to build that support system around her to let her know that there is hope.
And you know, from reading this, it makes me just want to say, people see other people and think their world is perfect.
Right.
And you just never know. She has a great husband, daughter in college. She's on top of her game. What is she say? A counselor at a school or a hospital or something. Everything seems so perfect, but you just never
You
know.
never
what person
know. And
is
also the
going
daughter
through.
leaving can be very hard. All of
Yeah.
a sudden the home is empty and you
Yeah.
don't have your daughter next to you.
And that's what I thought too, because she said, I don't feel
Mhm.
needed. And now they
Right.
empty nesters, and it's like your
Right.
husband's getting promoted, he's doing his thing, and you're like, what do I do?
Right, and a lot of times people will immerse themselves in their work so that
Right.
they don't have to feel the pain and the sadness that they're experiencing.
And you know, as what Sherrie said before, is that a lot of times people don't stop in their world and listen and communicate with each other anymore. And so now she may not have that communication with anyone that, you know, or their husband or her daughter, someone that she really cares about. And that lonely feeling, and a lot of people don't realize
Yeah.
loneliness is a part of depression. It gets you to a point where you start feeling very depressed and you think about things that you wouldn't normally think about. And so I would say that this person is that, yes, you know, as Sherrie said, she's the expert on this. I'm, you know, a minister. I'm just going to give my opinion, but I always heed to what the expert is saying. Yes, definitely, you know, talk to someone about this. Go through the process, like she said. that person is giving you the warning signs. They let you know that there's an issue. They let you know that they're depressed. You can see that there's a suicidal tendency or thoughts in that person's mind. The worst thing you can do is what a lot of people do, especially with Christians, and I'm going to get on the Christians right now. We'll just say, well, let's pray about it. No, don't pray about it. Call about it. Act about it. Do something about it. Prayer should have led you to wisdom to make the telephone call to a location that could help them. If you're just praying about something and you don't do anything, then your prayer is in vain, because God is giving you the wisdom and knowledge and understanding that that person has reached out to you. You're that angel. You're that person. That prayer should have been motivated to make you decide, I need to make a telephone call. So let's not just go on prayer or just, I'm just going to hope that something doesn't happen. Their whole life may depend on you just deciding to make an action
You
or
may
an
be
act.
the only one.
Yeah.
Well, I do-
Also, Reverend, you know,